And like, what made you want to shift from developing yourself to being able to integrate your development with other people?
Ooh, man, yeah. Okay, so I feel like shortly after the or it may it's been so long, maybe these things kind of happen around the same time, but it was kind of three major points between the eating clean, the meditation, and then I started studying astrology a lot. And so, my intention in studying astrology was to like understand how elements maneuver, so that when I was meditating, I understood, like, again, I could attach a deeper intention to whatever it was that I was focused on. And so once I felt like I had kind of done a deep enough dive, because I think, I probably did this for a good couple years. And, obviously at this point, my life has completely changed. I'm a completely different person, so at that point was when I was like, oh, I think people need this. Like, and not even to say that I thought I knew something that people needed. I just felt like I did almost as much as I could with myself that I could at that time to field test my experiences. So I was like, I need to plug in with a community to see if, like, what I found valuable in these three categories is just as valuable to them. So I was like, what better place to try than, going around and seeing if other martial artists feel this way, type of thing. So that felt like a natural progression.
Which martial arts did you start with in this endeavor?
Actually, my very first martial art was boxing. Um, and that was just something done in a very non-traditional, informal route. I just had another homie that I worked with. He was from New York. He just was that dude that always had gloves in his car, and he just kind of, made us throw on the gloves, and we made that a regular thing. So boxing was my very first.
And did you engage with like communities of boxers in that time?
Honestly, this was more like a group of the friends. Like, we didn't actually go to like any boxing gyms at the time. Like, we were more so, hey, Friday night after work, everybody show up at the house and bring your gloves. Like, that was our thing. So, we had fun with it. We were consistent with it for about a year or so. We probably got to where there was on average 10 of us meeting up. So, we were definitely like invested at the time. We were having fun with it.
Nice. What came after boxing?
So after boxing is when I fell in love with capoeira. That's the main baby, you know what I'm saying? That's wifey. Um, I feel like boxing definitely, set me up for having to understand what it's like to go through intense cardio. So coming into capoeira, I was like, oh, this is everything that I was trying to do by myself. Like, I was over here trying to do meditation by myself and teach myself yoga and eat clean and, work on my balance and handstands. Oh, they're already doing all that, and it's fluid. So capoeira came after boxing, and it kind of completed the field study at that moment.
That's beautiful. Do you remember what your first like mind-blowing experience was practicing capoeira for the first time?
Hmm. My first mind blowing experience. I would say my first mind blowing experience was probably like our first bachizado or a graduation type event. Um, because up until then, I felt like, martial arts had a very not cookie cutter. What's the word? It had a very matter of fact, formal way for us to celebrate our events and everything. And so when I went to my first capoeira bachizado or graduation, I was mind blown by the amount of people that came from other countries. Because I was just like, whoa! Like, I knew that, I was of course training an African and Brazilian art, but I just didn't know how much people cared about it. So it blew my mind that people would show up a week ahead of time, sometimes 2 weeks ahead of time, not really have any intention of making money and train all day, like for 2 straight weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then just not only are they training for 2 straight weeks, but then they get done with training at midnight and folks are going out, drinking, hanging out, dancing, doing samba, partying, waking up early and training the next day. So I think that was really kind of like the mind blowing experience. So I was like, firstly immersed in the culture. Like wow, I didn't know that there was this mental fortitude that people had to where they could train all day, party all day, wake up and act like that didn't happen.
Wow.